Yeah, the Padres, the Dodgers, the Angels. It's been a rough week.
Oh, nice headline, Skid City.
Yeah.
Yes, the Padres can hit home runs. Yes, they have the occasional big inning, but there's no consistency to putting hits together. They're just not doing it collectively, and they're not doing it with any consistency. Joe Musgrove, pretty good outing on Sunday. I'll tell you what, if they get him back to what he was prior with Cease, with King, that's a pretty good front end of the rotation. A lot of dogfight in those three starting pitchers. So we'll keep an ear on that. Xander Bogaerts, coming off a really bad stretch, was 4 for 41, finally hit a home run. I'll ask this question. Should he be the leadoff hitter? Maybe this is not the right place for him in the batting order. He's already walking around with the burden on his shoulders. They've moved me to second base, and there have been some flubs there defensively. Maybe Xander shouldn't be the leadoff guy. Maybe the leadoff guy should be the kid, Jackson Merrill, who's still hitting over 300. Maybe the leadoff guy ought to be Mr. Energy, Profar, who can walk, does get hits, occasional power, runs like hell on the base. Maybe Profar should be the guy. They need something different, I think, at the top of the batting order. And they're going to have to figure out this runner in scoring position crisis, because at one stretch they were 1 for 20 when they lost the 3 games in a row there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's batting order issues with the Padres right now that just are not in sync. Dodgers, they lose 7 of 9 at home, lost 3 series in a row. Yes, they did punch the Mets in the mouth with a 10-0 victory on Sunday, but I had forgotten this. I went back and looked it up this morning. Dodger pitching staff's in tatters right now. They got 9 arms on the DL. They have 7 starters. Obviously, we know about Walker Buehler and Dustin May and Clayton Kershaw, Tony Gonsolin. They got 7 starters on the DL, and they got 2 relievers on the DL. We've forgotten about Blake Trinan and Brusdar Graterol. Now, 1 or 2 of them, Buehler is throwing 1 more rehab game, but he's not been dominant. So I don't know if they know where he is really physically. He's thrown 95, but then he's walked batters, and then he hasn't been accurate. His last start, he lasted 2 2/3 innings. So that's a big issue there. And then, the Dodgers, 2 of their other young guys are still on the DL. Bobby Miller's not ready to come off. And M. Sheehan, who pitched really well in the pennant race last year, he's not ready to come off. So the Dodgers are, because of the pitching woes, and there are guys that are coming, are not 100%. And the Angels are starting to reel. Reed Detmers has become an ace of the staff. He's got an ERA just a shade over 1, which is pretty impressive. Wow. But Patrick Sandoval's regressed. He was the number 1 guy last year. He's given up a lot of home runs. Mike Trout is hitting. Anthony Rendon got hurt again, hamstring. Looks like it's significant. Now, at one point, he was hitting .073. He was getting booed. He started to hit, pushed his average up to 257, got hurt running the bases. He's gone. The young shortstop, Zach Neto, started to hit. The young catcher, Logan O'Hoppe, is hitting with some power. I don't know what the future is, but they really need Mickey Moniak and Joe Adell, both number 1 draft picks. They need them to hit more than 120. And it's a big issue for the Angels. Ron Washington he's got a fractured roster. He's got a fractured batting order. He's got a substandard pitching staff, and they're starting to skid. So, Padres, Dodgers, Angels, the floor is yours.
Well, I agree with you. This whole thing about a runner in scoring position on third base, that was one of those games. Was it in Milwaukee or was it in against the Blue Jays where Jackson Merrill led off with a triple
and sat there?
It was on third, no outs. So that's happened a lot.
Only superseded by bases loaded, nobody out, and nobody scores.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what the heck? I mean, that's the thing the Padres were saying, that we understand situational hitting and you take what the game gives you, and we just need a guy to punch a ball through the hole. They don't need to hit a grand slam. And sometimes you wonder if they buy into that, or are they instead going for the glory home run?
Here's the batting order. Who do you have leading off? Who do you want leading off?
Well, first of all, I think changing the batting order isn't as big of an impact. But it's only one of the few things a manager can do. I think it's more about affecting the psyche of the hitter. But Ha-Seong Kim has had success at the leadoff, and so is Profar. So moving Xander back would be fine. I mean, he when Xander is Xander, he's a great kind of RBI guy.
Put the ball in play.
Put the ball in play, hit some doubles in the gap, that kind of a guy. That sounds pretty good at 5 or 6. So, and I think Merrill may be a little too young, but he could do it. But if it were me, I would do Ha-Seong Kim at number 1.
And the Dodger pitching staff, can you believe how many names are on the DL?
Yeah.
9.
Yeah, 9 is a lot. And we've been talking about all those guys coming back, later this, next few months. But it takes time when you come back from Tommy John, right? Like that first year back, you're not really yourself. And it takes you about another year until you kind of really get back to what you were. So yeah, Buehler, anyone, Buehler, we're going to have to find out what he can do.
Speaking of pitching, let me throw this at you. Just hold on to the table. Your guy, Trevor Bauer, is pitching in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Trevor Bauer struck out 14 and tied a Mexican League record of striking out 9 in a row, a record that was set in 1964. No offers yet, but he is pitching for Rolos, owned in Mexico City. So he's had a couple good starts so far. He's trying to pitch his way back across the border.
Hell yeah. Good for him. He's showing his stuff. I watched a video of him. It was like a 30-minute long video he posted on social media of all the different things he was doing, working out.
Well, it's a science to him.
Yeah. And there's certain days he does his long toss and the precision of the way he just plays catch. And he was quarantined for a while because he was sick and he was in a hotel room and that set him back. So it was very interesting how he breaks all that down. You don't normally see players using social media that way. That might spook some MLB teams thinking this guy is not a team player. He's a one-off, celebrity.
Well, the celebrity is trying to do anything he can to get back across the border down to San Ysidro and sign a contract with somebody in baseball. But, the quality of the Mexican League is not Major League Baseball. But to strike out 14 guys in, I want to say, 6 innings, he struck out 9 in a row, 1 spot. That's pretty impressive.
Wow. So out of the 18 outs, 14 were strikeouts.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's the Mexican League.
Yeah.
Next baseball topic.